I really want to fuck my best friend. Warning, some audiences may find this content disturbing. View at your own discretion. Welcome to the House of Reddit. Today, we share some recent r/confessions posted on Reddit. I really want to fuck my best friend. I've been friends with him for over a year now. I'd never thought of him in a romantic way until recently. He's a very handsome man. He's Spanish, caramel skin, dark brown hair and maple-colored eyes. A gorgeous smile. He keeps his beard trimmed neatly, and he has fluffy full eyebrows to match. He has long beautiful eyelashes too. He's not super buff. He's a femme guy, which I don't mind at all. But his shoulders are broad, his body is lean, with a perfect V-line that points right down to his uncut penis. I lay here beside him as we watch a movie. I admire his beauty as the light from the TV reflects off of his caramel skin. I can't help but imagine what his beard would feel like against my skin as my legs straddled his face. I feel a rush of warmth in my pelvic area and my underwear gets damp. My eyes trace the veins from his neck down to his arms and fingertips. How I wish I could feel them touch me. A sudden burst of laughter fills the air like a warm melody. He turns to look at me as he giggles from a scene in the movie and my eyes sharply dart away. I try not to make my stares too obvious, yet as I lay there I wonder if he can feel me undressing him with my eyes. My hand creeps down under the covers and my fingers meet the moist touch of my panties. I lightly massage myself as I struggle to oppress my sexual frustration. As the movie comes to an end I frantically try to think of ways that I can confess my desire to him. He stands up to stretch and as he reaches his arms into the sky his shirt lifts up to reveal a fuzzy trail of dark brown hair that leads down to his palatable cock. He yawns. I should head home, it's getting late. I pull my hand out from my lacy panties and get up to escort him out. As he puts on his shoes to leave I feel a surge of palpitations. Should I make my move? He opens his arms for a hug goodbye. In that split second I chose to suppress my feelings and give him a friendly hug goodbye. See you tomorrow, he says sleepily. Maybe I'll try again tomorrow. On slow days at my job I'd go into one of the bathrooms and rub one out. First off, so glad I found this sub. I have a well of confessions from my wacky and crazy life. I look forward to sharing them with you all. Okay, so it was probably 2015 and I was living and working in NY. I had a job as a greeter, stock boy and sales associate at a high-end suit store in Soho. It was multi-story and the top floor there was employees only and a small kind of hidden very out-of-the-way employee bathroom. I had the lamest schedule and after some time there they still wouldn't meet me halfway with schedule request changes. At the time I also had another job as a bartender for a catering company that got a lot of work with all kinds of crazy hours and inconsistent days of the weeks, so I asked to work less at the suit store so I can make more money being available for private bartending gigs. I requested Mondays and Tuesdays off at the suit store because they were our slowest days of the week, freeing me up to be available for any bartending gigs. It was common the very last minute employees couldn't make it, so there was an on-call list and the pay was decent, so was worth being available. The retail job never gave me those days off, which sucked. Seriously, they didn't need that amount of stock boys they had on those days. But they wouldn't let me have those days off. So I'd go to work on those 2 slow-ass days every week. I'd clock in and walk around looking busy and useful. Some days I'd just get super aroused for no reason. I say no reason, but it was probably because it was so slow and boring I would just walk around and think about sex and ass and titties all fucking morning. Then one day it hit me, if I can just manage to rub one out I can get all this angst sexual built-up energy out of me and not worry about my slacks being too tight or walking around the sales floor afraid to stand up straight and my little Fred popping out. Also, with my mind clear I can actually summon some enthusiasm and the motivation to tackle some other projects before I took my lunch break. This was honestly the perfect plan. So I knew what I had to say. I told my manager and lead sales supervisor that I was going to take a quick smoke break. Everyone did here and was pretty common. I also told them afterwards, you may not see me on the sales floor for a bit because I'll be up top sorting out the alterations room. If you need me for a stock check or anything I'll be on the walkie-talkie. I went up there, put on videos and had a bloody good wank on company time. It worked. Mission accomplished. My observant nature and due diligence paid off. I was able to successfully masturbate in one of the employee bathrooms every Monday and Tuesday morning for the remainder of my time at this store. Some days I even managed to get 2 wanks in. All without it getting in the way of my tasks. I continued this until I put in my 2 weeks. I also enjoy shitting on company time. Who else has good shit or wank on company time story? I hope I die before my wife. I'm not dying and neither is my wife. I'm 30, she's 27. We've had a very happy, loving and blessed 9-year marriage. We started dating a week shy of her 16th birthday for those wondering. We've been extremely blessed to have 3 healthy children and the lives that we do. This past weekend at church our pastor was talking death and it got me really worked up. We're both very big in our faith and it's something that we hold dear to our lives. I know what awaits me after my earthly body dies. I'm not afraid of dying. But I'm absolutely terrified of death. Whenever someone close to me has passed, it's put into severe bouts of depression. Even though I know that they're as happy and blissful as possible with our Father. I've stayed up nights terrified that my wife or children might die. I play out different scenarios of how I would react and what life would be like without them. To live in the home without hearing their laughter, to see their ghost, not literal, in their beds, to not be able to hear their voices or feel their warm hugs or hear their heartbeat. Just writing this I'd giving me extreme anxiety. It's easy to say you gotta be strong for everyone else in the family but I can honestly say I couldn't. And as selfish as it sounds because I know they'd have to go through these things, I want to die before any of them do. It's not because I can't wait to get to heaven but because I know I wouldn't be able to live without them. I molested a 5-year-old and the guilt is killing me. I am feeling really guilty about something I did when I was 11. First, let me include, I am a female, I was 11 when this happened, and I feel terrible and can never forgive myself for this. I would really appreciate if you comment and find ways to help me deal with this please. Here is the story. When I was 8, I was molested by my older cousin who was 11, I easily forgave him but I did tell and I still do forgive him. I've always kinda been around sexual things. Also when I was 8 my younger cousin pressed me into touching things with her. Before the incident I am going to talk about, I never ever initiated any inappropriate things with anyone before. Okay, so when I was 11, I was at my dad's girlfriend's house. At this time we were moving around and didn't really have a home. His girlfriend had a 5-year-old daughter we will call Kayla. Kayla was pretty fast for her age, she cursed, and she was pretty bad, never really supervised. I would hang out with Kayla but I mostly hung out with her aunt who was 13 at the time. So one night my hormones were running crazy and I had went in Jada's room and watched inappropriate things on my iPad. I never had watched porn until that night. Anyway, I don't remember much from that night but I remember her smacking my private area a little reluctantly. The next day I remember teaching her things like dry humping. We did dry hump for like a little bit and I did not force her to do anything. I know that doesn't make it better. Then she asked to kiss me and I let her but as soon as that happened I went and washed my mouth out and felt super guilty. After that she did try to initiate a couple things but I strictly told her no. I fear I have ruined her mental state and messed up her whole life. My guilt has been eating me up. I'm now 14 and I'm a straight A student. I really want a chance to apologize to Kayla but she is now only 8 and lives very far. The fact that I let my hormones get the best of me and I potentially ruined her life is the worst feeling. I have never done anything like that before and will never do anything like that again. If I were to ever do that again, I swear I'd slit my wrist. Doing something like that is out of my character. I am scared to tell my mother. I plan on telling her when I am older than 18 but just not right now. I have never been attracted to kids and never will be. I just did that in the moment. I genuinely love kids. I babysit every weekend and enjoy their pure presence but I fear if I tell someone they will never trust me around kids again. I pray for forgiveness but I feel I don't deserve it. Please help me in the comments. I'd love to apologize to Kayla but now is not the time. So please leave some comments and help me cope with this or give me your brutal honest opinions. I hate the way you run your life, Mom. I wish you made meal plans for the week and go grocery shopping 1-2x a week, not everything day because we need fresh food. No, I'd much rather you shop 1-2x a week, and use the rest of the time to focus on important things this family actually needs. Like dealing with the mice problem. Like not low-key hoarding. Like actually organizing the house instead of the same shit being in the same spot the last 8 years. I hate being in this house because I see stagnant chaos. It's like moving into a new house, with unpacked and packed boxes everywhere. But this should be a temporary stage where things improve until they're resolved. No, 8 years later, the same boxes are in the same place. Or they kinda get shuffled around, somewhat cleaned up, but with new crap strewn in. I hate that you don't focus and prioritize until shit gets done. I hate that you do low-value tasks until they swallow up your weeks, months, years. And before you know it, you will be on your deathbed and wonder where your life went. All your big goals never realized. I hate that you make stupid decisions. Like feeding the raccoons until they bring family and come every night. So you go to Trader Joe's and buy 20 boxes of cookies to feed them. That's $300 a month that you spend on raccoon food. Do you know that you have no teeth because you were always too scared to go to a dentist? That's what I mean. So much of your time and energy got wasted, trashed on stupid, low-value errands. And things that actually matter, like working with your autistic son or working on your health, got pushed to the side. I know some of it is coping, you can't face the big stuff because you're scared. But FFS, you're almost 70. How much time do you have left to pull this shit? In whatever time you have left, don't you want to get something of value done? It hurts because it's incredibly painful to feel this deep sense of disappointment in parents. I love you and it hurts me to see you make poor decisions over and over again. We're just friends? I'm a guy, friend is a girl. We are friends since childhood. Met in preschool, we are super close but close enough to be considered a thing but never have been. We share everything about each other even down to personal shit. We've dated other people, we tell each other if we believe the other's SO is good for the other person, and both of us have been engaged before, but on my part, my fiancé cheated on me and left, with her he started abusing her and cheated. We both have always been there for each other, and I'll admit when I was younger I went through a time that I really did want to date her, but when one of our old friends back in high school asked if we were a thing she laughed and said, "Oh God no, he's not my type at all. Just friends." So I never pursued anything. As we got older and after our horrible breakups, we were there for each other and helped each other through the good, bad and ugly. It led to both of us finding people we are with today. But I'll admit, recently the talks we have had gotten very intense. We talk about turn-ons, how each of us are in bed. Late night talks and flirting. I admitted feelings and wanting to date her in the past and got a "why didn't you tell me?" We both got silent and keep making conversation and have been spending a lot of time talking, but things have changed into more than friend statues. We both admit that what we talk about would get us in deep shit with the people we are with, and we talked about if we should stop our way of chatting and whatnot, but both have admitted we don't want to do that and we enjoy it. We haven't been able to see each other much cause of COVID, but the times we do, it's just comfortable. I know I'm an asshole, we both are. If you enjoy this video, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Turn on the notifications to know when we post new videos. Thank you for coming to the House of Reddit.